name is Asya, nice to meet you and welcome back to my channel if you already know me. Guess what happened today? Today I got a new sketchbook, and what I wanted to say about my previous sketchbooks. I learned one big lesson. 100 pages for the sketchbook is too much. So this guy is only 60 pages. And why did I say 100 pages is too much? Well, for me, because I love gouache. I like to use very thick layers of gouache. I also like to glue stickers and other stuff to my sketchbook, and by the end of every sketchbooks, they turn into a big chunky mess, and I can't even close my old sketchbooks. I have to, press them, and it ruins the cover, it damages the paper. So this time I decided to buy a sketchbook with less than 100 pages. This one only has 60 pages. So yeah, we'll see how it works for me by the end of the sketchbook, and of course I will make a review for you guys. Also, I don't know how this paper will handle gouache, which I love a lot. It's my passion, it's my love. And yeah, that's it. I forgot to tell, this is Artist Loft Sketchbook. What I really like about it is the cover. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a fake leather. And it is very nice because my previous sketchbook had paper cover. It was hardcover, but it was made of very thick paper. And oh my god, I got destroyed in like a first week of using this sketchbook. So I have very, very big hopes for this guy. I really like the quality of this cover. It's hard. It's hopefully, well, I think water can do anything to this cover, which is very nice. And I can glue stickers here. I can unstick stickers, and I think it will stay nice and clean, and nothing will happen to it. So, anyways, enough of talking. As always, guys, I want to invite you to join me today. Grab your art supplies, maybe just grab some beverages, and let's get started.
Hello, voiceover Asa here. So I'm starting my painting with sticking tape to the page where I want to protect the paper from the paint, and preparing all my art supplies I'm going to use. So basically I'm just going to use my huge Mia gouache and some colored pencils, and of course brushes and my ceramic palette. I'm going to start with the sky and slowly go down to the hills and plants. If you can see in my sketch, I have a little tag on this bottle, and on this tag I'm going to put the date when I started sketchbook and when I finished. So the white square in the middle of my illustration is going to be this tag. Usually I don't do any special illustration for the first page of the sketchbooks, but my last sketchbook I started with some nice flowers and a space for the text to kind of record the date when I started and finished the sketchbook. And I really enjoyed this idea, so I decided to do it here by take it a little bit more serious. And I thought about some nice way to put a date, but also make nice and bright illustrations, so it's not just a plain page with some text on it. Usually I'm very nervous about the first page. I want this page to make a good impression when you first open the sketchbook. So I decided to paint something I'm very confident with, and for me it is a landscape. But just landscape was, I don't know, it would be a little bit boring for me, so I decided to put it in the bottle. And why I decided to do it, I'll explain in the end of my video. So I put the first layer of the paint, and I see it is dry already, so I'm ready to move to the details, and I'm adding some tiny shadows to the trees and bushes. I can already see that this paper is not very good for gouache or watercolor because it's not textured, and if you look at the top of the page you can see it changed its shape already, and it's a little bit sad because I really love gouache, but I think unfortunately in the future I'll have to switch to mixed media sketchbooks. And I say unfortunately because usually they have super ugly covers, and a beautiful cover of sketchbook is very important for me. Here I'm showing you my favorite green gouache that I'm taking from my Himi gouache palette because my Mia gouache palette doesn't have those nice greens, and I'm going to use them on my illustrations, so that's why I added them to my palette on the left. So back to my discussion of sketchbooks. To me it's very important to have nice sketchbook that I really like because it is very I like to get an inspiration from everything I work with, not only sketchbooks, but I take time to pick nice art supplies, nice paints, nice palettes, and it is all the part of creative process. And I think, well, to me it's very important, as I already said. So that's why I struggle so much with sketchbooks. Every time I find a sketchbook with amazing thick paper that will be perfect for gouache, it has soft cover, and it's usually one of those covers who has a lot of text and logos, and it's just or random picture I don't really like. I'll be honest, I bought this sketchbook because I really like the cover of it, but unfortunately the paper is not the best. As you can see, I already started putting tiny details with my small brush, and to me this landscape kinda looks like a Studio Ghibli landscape, which I can't deny I get inspired by their movies so much, and I like their color palettes, so occasionally I like to use it in my personal illustrations. I'm not going to paint a background for this bottle. Instead, I'll just paint a little shadow so it connects the bottle to the white background. It is a good way to make sure that everything you draw or paint on just a white paper and you're not going to put any background on it, try to add a little shadow under your objects, and you will see how your whatever you drew will instantly feel connected to the space of the paper. I don't know if this explanation was good enough, but what I mean is just try to add shadows here and there and you will see the magic. I'm getting closer to my favorite step, and it is painting flowers. So my landscape is going to have two types of flowers, yellow and pink. You can see yellow flowers on the left, and it might look like just yellow leaves, which is fine because pink flowers are supposed to be the main accent of this landscape, and I'm going to use 3 different shades of pink to make it look like, not all flowers are the same color, so I think it makes it look more realistic if you paint a lot of pink flowers but you use different shades of pink. After finishing flowers, I'm going to go back to the top part of the illustration and paint the sky. And the reason why I did it because I put a lot of water when I was painting the sky, so it took some time to dry. And after the sky, I'm going to paint cork. I'm getting very close to finish my illustration, and I'm going to make my tag right now, and I will get ready for to the most satisfying steps or every painting is removing the tape and drawing on top of it with colored pencils. Right now I'm going to work on the reflected light on the bottle, and of course I'm just using white gouache to put those reflections. And right now it's really hard to see them, but I think I'll add them later. Unfortunately, I didn't record this process, so you'll just see the final result in the end of the video. I don't really know where those reflections should be because I didn't really have a reference for the bottle, so I just kinda eyeballed them, and I apologize if they don't look very realistic, but it doesn't really matter for me. I'm going for slightly cartoonish style, so it works fine. I'm removing the tape right now and I'm ready to paint the string. It is very nerve-wracking process, and my only advice to you when you paint something where you can't make any mistakes, don't panic because your hand knows that you're panicking and it will start shaking, I promise to you. I'm adding final touches and I'm getting ready to draw with colored pencils on top of this illustration. While preparing for colored pencils, I take some time and it lets my gouache dry because it is impossible to draw on top of wet paper, so you definitely need your gouache to dry completely. The board you see on the left is going to be my ruler because on the day of filming this video I lost my one and only ruler, so I had to improvise. And as you can see, I started using my colored pencils, I sharpened them a little bit, and I add final details to my drawing. I really like how gouache and colored pencils look together. I think it is amazing combo, and since I discovered it for myself, I can't stop using it. Using pencils gives my painting nice sharpness, which I couldn't achieve with gouache only. Even if I could, it would take so much time and effort, which I don't know if I wanted to invest in the first page of my sketchbook, so I think it's just the easiest way to, make your painting nice and clean without too much effort. This pencil is currently my favorite pencil out of all the pencils I have, and I'm just in love with this nice and blue color. It's interesting how my taste switched from green to blue completely. Last year, green was my favorite color, and now I can tell that I like blue way better. I wonder what will be my next favorite color. I'm using my improvised ruler to create some nice and sharp lines for my painting, and after that I just need to sign the tag and my illustration will be done. There is a joke that artists have ugly handwriting. Unfortunately, it's not a joke for me. My handwriting is pretty iffy, but look at the beautiful date for the sketchbook. I didn't know it until I started writing it, and I was surprised. I see it as a good sign. And this is the grand opening of my new sketchbook. I'm pretty happy with the result. Unfortunately, I'm not super happy with the paper of the sketchbook. It is pretty thin, and as you can see when you switch the page, the paint just kind of makes it a little bit ugly on the other side, and I don't know if I will be able to paint anything there. If you watched till this moment, I want to thank you for tolerating my broken English, and here's some satisfying footage of me peeling off the stickers.
did it! Officially, the first the first painting in my sketchbook is done. I promise I didn't cheat on you guys and I didn't paint in the sketchbook at all, which is a huge surprise for me because I thought I won't be patient enough and I will paint in the sketchbook and then I will, you know, say, oh, it's my first illustration here, haha. Nothing is suspicious, but no, I was very honest. I did my first painting and it is like introduction painting to my sketchbook. Why I chose this idea, I guess because this bottle represents my sketchbook. I want it to look like a little universe or world full of nice and bright pictures in it, and I really like it. You can feel free to use this idea for your sketchbooks. You can definitely change the shape of the bottle. You can make a jar instead of the bottle, or cup, snow globe maybe, and it doesn't have to be a landscape. It can be a painting of the ocean or space, or even if you're using landscape, it can be any other type of landscape, snowy mountains, deserts, whatever you prefer. Or you can put flowers, something else, whatever you like. Of course, no need to credit me. It's my generous gift to you guys. Take this idea, use it in your sketchbooks, and yeah, as always, stay positive, stay creative. And as always, stay positive, stay creative, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!